Everybody, this is Jake, back with another lesson this week. Today the song is Aurora by Foo Fighters. This is a song I did about five or 6 years ago, and I've been meaning to do it for a long time, just finally getting around to it. So, today, with my sort of simplifying, I'm going to be using two guitars. I'll be using this Hollowbody, and I'll be using this Silver Sky to cover most of the track. It's probably about 85% accurate, which I'm very happy with. The two pedals I'm using for today are the Memory Man Deluxe. It's an Electro Harmonics, I think from the 90s. And then I have an 80s, a late 1980s Boss DD3 digital delay. This is the version with the longer chip, which is basically a DD2. And I'll be using them sort of concurrently for each track. But with that said, I'm going to play the basic riff, the verse. I'll play it. I may feature this guitar on top and play both tracks, and then I'll break just this guitar down, and then I'll move on to the next guitar and break the riffs for that down. So here we go. Here's the verse. So for the verse, like I said, I simplified it. The original track is gorgeous, but Dave he's playing many different notes within the A major scale, and it's great, but it doesn't really make for a short guitar lesson. That would probably be about an hour and a half guitar lesson. So I'm just playing that main riff, the intro riff, just over and over again, and that's actually the way I've seen him play it live. So with that said, the riff starts with an open A string, mostly quarter notes. I have the pedal set to quarter notes with maybe 10 repeats, 10 to 12 repeats. And so you will play the open A string, then you're going to play the 12th fret, the 11th fret, open A again, the 14th fret, all right? Next thing, the 11th fret, then the open A string. Okay, and the next part is the 12th fret on the D string, then the 12th fret on the A string, and then the open A. And then I think it's the 14th fret on the D string, and then the 14th fret on the A string. After that, you're going to play the A string open twice. So 1, 2, then the 11th fret and the 12th fret on the D string, and then the riff starts over. So let's play it slow, the entire riff together. And so with the delay on the Memory Man, I'm pretty sure that's what they use on the recording. They may have slightly different settings, and they may have like a compressor to give that echo a little bit more power. I believe that in the studio on the recording, they had the Deluxe Memory Man going one signal, one output was going to 1 amp with the delay effect, and then a dry effect out to another amp, which is what I have here. And that gives it more of a pulsating kind of a sound, which I think is very important. Now, the reason the Deluxe Memory Man really makes this song is because the delay, this type of delay pedal is very responsive to how the guitar is played, meaning with the right hand. The key here is to have a soft touch with the right hand with a slight staccato, meaning staccato is where you play normally, but then you quickly mute the note immediately after hitting it. And that gives it more of a pulse. And I'll show you an extreme example of what that sounds like. So So somewhere in between is the perfect way to get the sound on this recording. You kind of want to be loose, but you kind of want to be staccato on key points in the melody. And I find that a lot of the key points are on those higher notes, like that gives you the echo. And when you're playing that open A string and a couple of the lower notes in between, you're playing them soft and really not with a lot of staccato. So together again. You're going to hit just that A string a little harder, quarter note, with a bit of a climax on the way you're hitting it, and then you'll go into the chorus. So the chorus riff for this guitar, the second part of the chorus, I'm using the Boss DD3 digital delay, and I'm just doing octaves. So let me play it first, and then I'll break it down. Okay, so that is I guess it's a pre-chorus actually, not a chorus. So I start with an A note on the 7th fret of the D string and the 10th fret of the B string. Doing quarter notes again, fast tempo. And I'm kind of hitting that low open A string as well for the first 2 octaves, a little bit on the second one. So this first one, slide it back to the 6th fret and the 9th fret on the B string. Slide it back a whole step. And then you move it back again, this time a whole step, 2nd fret on the D string and the 5th fret on the B string. Then you're going to move it back up to the 4th fret and then back to the 2nd fret. So much slower. Here's how it goes without any delay. Okay, then the next part of the song is on a D note. It's the 5th fret on the A string, and let's see, that's a 9th fret on the G string. 7th fret, excuse me. Same thing, octaves. This time you do a whole note. Then you switch to quarter notes. Well, I think actually you do a half note, and then you do quarter notes. So before you do the slide over to a whole step, 7th fret, you're going to pull off the A string to open A. Just like that. And the movement is going to be the 5th fret, octave, to the 7th fret, octave, to the 9th fret, octave, and then to the 12th fret. And then into the chorus, I think it's the 3rd fret, 3rd fret on the A string, and the 5th fret on the G string. So you hit it, I think it's a whole note. No, it's a half note. Then it slides a whole step with quarter notes, da-na-na-na, and then you move it back half step. This chord is an A add 11. So let me play the first two parts. Okay. So after that, I guess you're going into a bridge. I will play the coming out of the chorus into the bridge. Here we go. Okay, so coming out of the chorus, you're going into the bridge. You're going to hit the 4th fret on the A string, 2nd fret on the A string, then open A. And let me play that. Then you're going to play an F sharp minor 11. Sounds like this. Then you're going to play the same set of notes I just showed you. 4-2 open. Then you're going to play an E major chord. Sounds like this. Then you're going to play the octaves with the delay on. It's going to be similar to what I played earlier. 3rd fret on the A string with the 5th on the G. I think it's a half note. To that A add 11. And you'll repeat that a couple of times until the end of the bridge. Coming out of the bridge, you're going to go into I think it's the chorus. And I think that's basically the entire song. After that, it will go back into the verse. And by the way, one of the other chords that is going on during the verse is this chord here. So that is 7th fret on the D string, 9th fret on the G string, 9th fret on the B, and 7th fret on the high E string. Alternate pinky over to the 10th fret on the B. Hit the high E string. And then going into, I guess it's like another bridge. All right, you know what? It's kind of a ramp up to the verse, but that ramp up is really an outro. It's a verse riff, but it's an outro. So while ramping up to the outro, it's playing this chord that I showed earlier here. It's a variation on that, and this is how it sounds. that high note, that 9th fret, carries on into the outro riff with the with that delay riff playing the whole time. It's very faint. It's hard really to be sure if that's the note, but I believe that's what one of the guitar tracks is doing. And that's really it for this guitar, so I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the next guitar. Okay, so for this guitar, the reason I'm using a different guitar, by the way, is this guitar in particular has single coils, and it just sounds better for the chords I'm going to show you. On the recording, if you listen closely, you can hear the delay, like the verse riff. It has one tone. When the song hits the chorus riff, you can hear another guitar, totally different tone. So, with that said, I am going to play the chorus riff. Here we go. Turn this knob down just a little bit. All right, so the first chord is an A major. It sounds like this. The next chord is an A major 7. The next one is an A6 sus2. Move it back a whole step to an A5. Then you're going to go back to the A6 sus2, then move it up to the A major 7, and then all the way back to A5. So the next part is the A major 7 sus. Sounds like this. Or you can play all the strings if you want. Next chord is an A6 sus. Then you go back to the A major 7 sus. Then just an A sus. Then you're going to play an A sus 6. And by the way, in between those chords, you're hitting the low A note, just the open string. Then you slide over to an A6 sus. Just these two chords. Excuse me, three notes. Move that to an A. Then back to the A6 sus. The entire riff one more time, slow down. Okay, so that is, I guess that's the pre-chorus, and then you go into the actual chorus, which is, starts on a D. This is just kind of a series of basically single notes. You hit the open D string with the 7th fret on the G, and you walk that back a half step to the 6th fret. The This is on the G string only. And the whole time you're kind of droning that low D string. Then you move it back to the 4th fret on the G string, then the 2nd fret. So together, move it up to the 4th again, and then the 6th. Then move that pattern up 1 string, open A string, and 7th fret on the D string. Move it back to the 6th fret, 4th fret, and 2nd fret. And then at the end, you play the 4th fret on the A string, 2nd fret on the A string, and open A. Together, the whole riff sounds like this. And you're playing that A5 at the very end. Then you repeat that riff the 2nd time around. But then you go into, I guess it's still part of the chorus. I'm not sure, it might be a pre-verse. That is an F sus2. Move it over to a G5. Then an A5. But it kind of alternates. It goes from an A5 to an A7 to an A7 sus. And I'll show you that. I'll show you all those chords, and then I'll show you how it's actually played. So here's the A5 again. But the way it is on the records, it is picked out into certain notes are played, and they imply those chord changes. So let me play it slowly, and I'll talk over what chord is what. So here's the A5. There's the A7, and then there's the A7 sus2. And you can see my right hand, I'm kind of all over. I'm kind of alternating between the G, the D string, and the B string. That very last time around on this riff, this section of the song, you're going to end on an A5, this chord again. Then you get to the bridge, and the bridge is playing something very similar to what the other guitar is. It does the 4-2 open on the A string. Now the difference is you're going to play that F sus2, that G5, and I believe it's an A5. And together it sounds like this. The riff starts over after that A5, then goes back into the F sharp minor 11 and the E major chord. So that's how it is. Again, these chords are going to be posted at the top right of the screen. You'll see them, but I'll play them one more time. This is how they look. Then you're going to go back into the pre-chorus, which is this riff. then I think it goes into the verse from there. So that's going on during the build-up to, I guess, it's like the pre-outro riff, and I'll play that for you. So I'll play that together, and I'll go into the next, that pre-outro riff, and I'll play it together right here. So, that pre-outro riff is an A major chord. Then an A major sus, an A major 7 sus 2. Then you kind of go back into this other riff, this droning low A string, quarter note, with the 7th fret on the D string, and then alternating to the 6th, back to the 7th. That's all there is for this guitar. The rest is played on that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. If you want to see more of these types of videos, like I said, make sure you like it, make sure you subscribe, and comment on my video as well if you want. And also, if you want to see a follow-up to this, I can get into some of the intricacies and complexities of the song, because there are more riffs to be played and showed. So, with that said, thanks for watching the video, guys.